The valedictorian of the class of 2012 is Trev Thompson. Trev is the son of Frank and Jeanie Thompson. He has a grade point average of 4.3 on the 4-point scale with 42 hours of dual credit from Gilbert College. He plans to attend the University of Texas at Tyler and major in chemistry. At this time, Trev will present the valedictorian address.
Good afternoon, members of the Board of Trustees, faculty and administration, distinguished guests, fellow graduates, family, and friends. I must first and foremost thank God for this blessing and honor to stand before you here today as valedictorian of the class of 2012. Yet today is not only my day to shine. Every graduate here is deserving of high praise and recognition, and I would like to congratulate each of you on reaching this milestone in life. I have always dreamed of becoming the valedictorian. However, I have not looked forward to giving this speech. As most of you know, this isn't my strength, but God is helping me. There is so much that I want to say to construct ideas into so many minds. But due to the limited amount of time, I must leave you with one important message that I feel everyone needs to hear. God makes snowflakes. Each one is uniquely made, and no two are alike. When I was a little boy, I thought snow was made of little chunks of ice. But later, I learned from this scientist, Wilson Bentley, that a snowflake is beautifully and masterfully formed. He was the first person to photograph a snowflake where he examined it under a microscope. And through his microscope, he concluded that only a divine force could create such a micro masterpiece. We are so much more than a snowflake. We are alive and living. The psalmist tells us that we are all wonderfully and uniquely made. Each and every one of us forms together to create a white blanket that stretches across miles and miles of treacherous terrain and perilous mountains. Through these difficult times, we come together and use our uniqueness for the higher purpose of helping others. Like so many snowflakes, I see in the class of 2012 so many possibilities, and it's up to each of us to take what God has given us to make a positive change in this world. There are many examples of how God has used unlikely people to do the most extraordinary things. For example, Moses, after killing an Egyptian, had to flee Egypt for fear of being killed, and he lived in exile for many years. All of us know the story of how the Lord used him to free the Israelites from the bondage of the Egyptians, and how the Red Sea parted in order for God's people to escape. Moses was not a great speaker, and he tried to convince God that he wasn't the man to persuade the Pharaoh to free the Israelites. Moses had a gift and didn't realize it, but God told Moses that he would be his strength, and Moses finally decided to obey and follow God's directions. The lesson here is that with God, all things are possible, no matter how weak or lost you may feel. Like Moses, each of us will have doubts and fears of our abilities, but we need to adhere to God's word and step out on faith, knowing his promise that he will never leave us nor forsake us. We are all blessed with our own unique gifts and talents. It is our turn to give back to society, and it is up to each of us to make that commitment. We are who we are by the grace of God. Let's be a blessing to others the way that so many have been a blessing to us. Our parents, teachers, faculty, friends, and family have given so much to us, and we thank you from the bottom of our hearts. As Bentley took a little snowflake and stepped on faith to study its form and individuality, he made a statement to the world of how unique and wonderfully made this tiny, masterful, crystalline snow could be. We too can make a statement to the world with our own unique gift and be proud of our accomplishments, no matter how big or small it may be. I quote Bentley, "I wouldn't trade places with Henry Ford or John Rockefeller for all their millions, and I wouldn't change places with a king, not for all his power and glory. I have my snowflakes." So to my fellow graduates, future doctors, future lawyers, future nurses, artists, musicians, teachers, and entrepreneurs, we are the future of this country. Let's choose to take our unique snowflake design with all of its wonder and strive for excellence. And I hope that this generation and the many generations to come will let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. Thank you.